the floor. 19 trying to come up with a set of 4 springs that would meet the rules and also let the car run as fast as they wanted to go. These guys in the 02 have absolutely thrashed with this new spring rule.
The rule has also gone into effect this weekend in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, as well as here in the Busch Series. Ashton Lewis returns to the track after spending some time in the garage. Here's our leader, Kevin Harvick. He has a 1.7-second lead on Ryan Newman, and he's led all of the 40 laps so far. You're watching the NASCAR Busch Series on FX.
Today on FX, it's a National League Interdivision showdown. The Mets take on the Giants. FX Baseball today at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific.
Mountains of Busch Beer, proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series.
Pre-assembled modules that go together fast. No tools required. New quick-set gas grills from Charbroil.
A giant leap for mankind.
Charbroil, keepers of the flame.
Dirt Wheels magazine ranked it #1. Introducing the Polaris Sportsman 500 HO with 20% more power and our exclusive independent rear suspension. Right now, when you buy a new Polaris ATV, you get a 2,000-pound Warren winch kit for just $69. Or choose low 3.9% financing. Call 1-800-POLARIS for your nearest dealer.
It's about moving forward and not looking back. It's about designing the next generation of lawn tractors that not only cuts your lawn, but cuts it faster. Introducing the John Deere SST lawn tractor with spin steer technology. The only one to come with the technology to spin in place just by turning the wheel. The technology is so advanced, it actually cuts time. Right now, enjoy no money down on all riding lawn equipment.
45 laps complete. In working lap traffic, Kevin Harvick has now opened up a 2.5-second lead on Ryan Newman, who has a snarling pack behind him. And a moment ago, as they lapped the car, Mike Skinner tried to get inside Steve Park and take him 3 wide in turn 3. Thankfully, that separated out before it became disastrous.
We'll keep talking about spring rubbers, and again, the Busch Series, now they cannot qualify or start the race with a spring rubber. We're going to show you exactly a spring rubber. This is on a rear spring, but it serves the same purpose on the front spring. This is a spring rubber right there, made out of rubber. Pull the rubber out. Softens that spring, put the rubber in, stiffens that spring. Now, on the Busch Series now, they can use this adjustment in the race. They can add a spring rubber to the front spring, but they cannot qualify or they cannot start the race with a rubber in the front spring. They can do whatever they want to still in the rear springs.
Now, we were talking about something that happened while we were away. Got to show you this. This is called trying to take advantage of a situation. Here's Skinner in 21 looking inside Park as they lap Larry Foyt. Oh, not enough room for that.
Not wide enough for 2 cars, especially 3 cars. Very close right here on our 3rd and 4th place car.
But it illustrates the chances people will take, or who will, will at least take a look at, because it is so hard to pass here.
It is that. Jeff Green in the 10 car, remember, he restarted in 27th position. He's made his way up to 20th, but he's been having to deal with all these cars. We watched him fight Rich Bickle a while ago. It took him 10 laps to get by Rich Bickle. He was probably a half a second quicker than Rich, but could not pass him.
Larry, how many crew chiefs came up to us in the garage this morning and said, if you could just tell me what that 2 car is doing?
He has been the class of the field here all weekend. Again, when you win the pole by 2/10, you're fast. He was fast in half the hour. And I asked Todd Barrier, I said, Todd, what do you think about the new spring rule, the spring rubber rule? And he said, well, I'm not happy about it, but you know what? we're going to have to deal with it. That's the attitude you've got to have, Dick Bergman.
Let's remember that number 21 car of Mike Skinner is a team car of the number 2 Kevin Harvick, and they have changed notes, so they all know what each other has got. The two setups are pretty close. Skinner's strategy, quite simply, is to keep the fenders on until the end. And then he told me he's just going to tear them off if he has to. He wants to wear the car out, not tear it up until the very end of the race. But Mike Skinner in the 21 has a very good race car. He's just holding off until we get some more laps in.
Well, that team likes Mike Skinner's attitude, and they do. They're going to love Ted Christopher next week. Fenders, he usually races modifieds. They don't have fenders to start, let alone finish with.
All they've got is a little bit of sheet metal on the roof and on the doors, and that's it.
That's all you need. Next Saturday, NASCAR's All-Star Night. Lowe's Motor Speedway, the Winston, will be there to bring it to you on FX.
Man, the closer we get to that, when they push those cars out there and it's 9 o'clock at night and those teams got their qualifying motors in there and everybody's got their game face on, 70 laps, no points, no hose barred, just a lot of money.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Jeff Green having a look at Jeff Purvis. You're riding with the MBNA cam on board Purvis's number 18.
Now the thing, Jeff Green, Harold Holley, his crew chief, what they need now with us showing 52 laps, they've done made this commitment to do it on one more stop. They need this race to go green flag all the way, because now being here in 20th position, we've run so far, if a caution comes, they would have to put tires on. They would have to. They need a green flag race. He's going to get underneath Jeff Purvis here off turn 2.
Makes the pass. Next car ahead is Fedor, some distance further up the racetrack. 53 laps complete. It's now a 4-second lead. Kevin Harvick trying to wear them out here at Loudon, New Hampshire on FX.
This is Bill. Bill is installing a new belt on his car. The belt he purchased isn't exactly right, but it seemed like a bargain, and Bill's determined to get it on there. That one might be a little tight, Bill. Here's the deal. At Napa, we not only carry the right part, we've got the know-how to make sure that's what you leave the store with.
Oh, right. The number 99 Aaron's Dream Machine.
Oh, yeah, ain't she a beauty? Of course, she don't compare to the wife, though.
Really, these are the true Aaron's Dream Machines, the products we all dream about owning.
And at Aaron's, everyone's automatically pre-approved with no credit required?
Yeah, and you get the guaranteed lowest price, too.
So you can afford this awesome RCA 52-inch big screen TV with picture-in-picture, big speaker sound, and free screen protector.
And I'm really pre-approved?
That's right. So let Aaron's drive your dreams home today.
Hank Parker Jr. drives number 36 for the GNC Live Well Racing Team.
How's it feel, Hank? Feels pretty good.
GNC Mega Man Premium multivitamins help Hank fine-tune his nutritional intake.
Bring it in. I think we got something that can make it a little better. All right.
Are we ready?
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
What are you doing for your body?
That's for the car, right?
Live well with GNC, the official vitamin store of NASCAR.
Come on, let's see what's going on with the millionaire game at McDonald's. Whoa, I'll tell you what, winning. It's like a winners only zone here. If there was a maximum capacity on winners, this place would be over the limit. If you wanted to start a new country called Winneronia, you'd come here. If today was national, go to a place with lots of Winners Day. You get what I'm saying.
Play the millionaire game at McDonald's. Pick the correct answer and you win every time. You still have a chance to win cash on every card.
Winning. It's a McDonald's millionaire thing.
Get inside the live racing action with RaceCast. Any driver, every lap. Only at NASCAR.com. America Online keyword, NASCAR.
Coming up at 4 p.m. Eastern on FX, Mike Piazza and the New York Mets visit Pac Bell Park to take on Barry Bonds and the San Francisco Giants in a rematch of last year's Division Series. It's all right here on FX. Part of the Fox Networks, your home for NASCAR and Major League Baseball. Kevin Harvick, driving for Richard Childress, led the most laps at Bristol, the most laps at Texas, and he has led all 58 laps here. Now, Jeff Green made a pit stop back at lap 16 as he pulls up on Tim Fedor. Green, who got gas only, trying to fight his way back to the front with a fast race car.
Boy, look at that race car right through the middle of the corner, right on the bottom. That's where you pass people. You beat them through the middle of the corner, and you beat them back to that throttle down the straightaway.
Dick Berggren?
Well, realize that when Green took that gas stop, he was really virtually dead last in the field. He's now running an 18th spot, and his crew is telling him lap after lap that he has the fastest car in the field. And get this, he's complaining that that thing is going to push. When they make a pit stop and adjust it, he is really going to be quick.
His crew chief, Harold Holley, got his first ever win as a crew chief here in 1995. He was the assistant crew chief for Chad Little, but Gary Cogswell fell ill, and Holley stepped up on the box that day, and his first day as crew chief got his first victory.
Not a bad way to start off as a crew chief.
Green, the defending series champ, second in points to the man who's leading this race, Kevin Harvick. And there you see Green's progression since the restart. Back up toward the front. Up on Kevin Grubb, 37. And let's again pick up this battle from second on back. This group keeping close check on one another. Steve Park just about 2 feet off the rear bumper of Ryan Newman. It's the same story there on back.
This whole group second through about 8th, and at the back of this pack, Greg Biffle in that 60 car, he's caught this group. Now he's probably one of the biggest movers besides Jeff Green. He started 14th. I talked to his crew chief. They went and tested up at Milwaukee. They tried to come here and use the same setup, and he said that's what we kind of missed out on qualifying, but they did have a good race car in happy hour, and they need a good run here. They have fallen from leading the points 2 weeks ago back to third with 2 bad races, and they felt good about what they had yesterday in happy hour.
Looks like he caught that group pretty easily. Looks like he's just biding his time. Robbie Faggart dropped a cylinder. They picked up a new sponsor for this race, Rent-A-Wreck, but he has now taken that car to the garage here. Jeff?
Yeah, Mike, to echo what Larry was saying earlier about the 60 car, they are actually running the Milwaukee setup. Milwaukee shocks are on the car. Talked to Randy, and Randy said he was very, very happy. That's Randy Goss, the crew chief on the thing. He was very happy with where the car was in race trim. They did mess up qualifying, but they were very happy with where the balance of the car is. One other thing, talked to a lot of drivers, a lot of crew chiefs, and they said, hey, we ran 60-some laps the other day in practice, and the tires never dropped off. Well, we just reached 64 laps in this race, so it'll be interesting to see once we get over the 65, 66 laps, whether these tires start changing a little bit and how much they're going to play a role in the rest of this race.
Well, one driver that has eased off is our leader, Harvick. He's got 5.5 seconds on the field. His last lap was about 50 hundredths slower than the next 4 cars. So Harvick is kind of out for a Sunday drive, today being Saturday. We'll see how that pays off.
But there's a lot of cars out there that he's going to have to fight, and one thing that's bad for a leader is trying to get by lap traffic, and there's a bunch of cars in front of him.
And again, Larry, he's backed off his lap times by 1 or 2/10 of a second, trying to nurse that lead, trying to chase him down. Newman, Park, Skinner, Keller, Santerre, Hamilton, and Biffle all in a tight pack.
Tuesday, think white men can't jump? Meet Notch Magic Johnson.
I've heard of you.
John Sally stars in Son of the Beach, Tuesday at 10 on FX.
Americans love power. And they love their high-performance Briggs & Stratton engines. That's why just about every neighborhood in America is a Briggs & Stratton neighborhood. Briggs & Stratton. The power that works for you.
I no longer have to rush home or be at home at a certain time to watch my favorite shows.
With TiVo, it's you tell it what program you want to watch, you press a button, and it's done.
TiVo records things automatically for me by my selecting a season pass.
And it will record them whenever they come on, even if they change time.
With TiVo, you're in control of what you're watching.
It's magic.
Learn more at TiVo.com or visit these retailers.
Introducing new Armor All Protectant Wipes. Armor All Shine and Protection now in a wipe.
Be large.
juice on a juicy flame-broiled Whopper at Burger King. And right now, buy the Whopper and we'll throw in some hot, crispy fries and an ice-cold drink for just 99 cents more to make a Whopper value meal you can get serious about. Get a Whopper and feed your need.
Believe it's true. BK for you.
Dr. Scholl's next stop, the LA Marathon. 26.2 miles.
I'm ready to go. We gave a group of runners our Advantage Sport insoles. It's the only sport insole with the Advanced Force Line Energy Return System.
So how did it feel? This is the best that my feet have ever felt.
Awesome!
Woo!
70 of 200 laps complete the running order unchanged. And again, leader Kevin Harvick, whether he's in traffic or not, is lapping a little bit slower than the other leaders. He has a pretty good sized lead cushion on the rest of this field.
He's trying to work this lap of traffic cautiously, trying to catch him at the right place at the right time. With this kind of lead, you can kind of pick and choose where you go by the lap traffic.
There's the interval back to second place. Ryan Newman, Steve Park, Mike Skinner, and the rest of that pack. And in the midst of it is the 0-1 of Andy Santerre. Dick?
Well, Andy Santerre's had a great day so far, Mike. He's currently running in 6th spot. He's a local hero from Cherryfield, Maine, but his day will be determined when he makes his pit stop. This is his 4th race of the year. Every single time he has run, it has been with a different pit crew. Because he's running part-time, he doesn't have a regular full-time pit crew. And the guys who are going to pit the car have never, ever pitted before together under green flag conditions.
Second, third, fourth place changed hands. Ryan Newman slipped up the racetrack, and it's bye-bye.
He gave the bottom of the racetrack up, and I believe he's going to go all the way from second, probably back to about 7th or 8th if he don't get back to the bottom of the racetrack. They're freight training right here. There you see Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 26 going by him, Greg Biffle going by him, all the way to the back. Jeff Hammond, what's going on with Ryan Newman?
What's happened, Larry, is the car has picked up a push. The further he's gone, it's gotten tighter and tighter. Ryan had called in earlier and said, hey, next time we get a pit stop, we've got to make an adjustment of some bite and some air pressure. What happened? He pushed up. They got under him. Now they're driving away from him. They feel like once they make these adjustments, they'll get him right back at the bottom and back up to the front.
And Mike Skinner, after he made the pass on Newman, slipped up the racetrack, and that allowed Jason Keller to get by.
And that's the problem with this racetrack. The more rubber that gets down on it, the hotter it gets. The sun's starting to pop back out just a little bit. It will get tighter and tighter. The front end will want to bite less and less, especially when you get down to 75, 85 laps on a set of tires.
Now, not just Keller, but also Andy Santerre and Bobby Hamilton Jr. fought their way past Skinner before Mike was able to get back in line. So changes from second on back, and let's set it for you now. About 6 seconds behind Harvick, the leader, are Park, Keller, then the 01 of Santerre and the 26 of Hamilton, then Skinner, Newman, and Biffle, who is 8th. Joe Bessie is 9th. Kenny Wallace is 10th. Kevin Harvick has led every one of 75 laps so far, but the contenders are closing in.
Experience all the action of America's favorite spectator sport at Dover Downs International Speedway. Beginning Friday, June 1st, the top trucks roar into Dover Downs with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series MBNA E-Commerce 200. Saturday, June 2nd, the MBNA Platinum 200 Busch Grand National rips up the Monster Mile. Then Sunday, June 3rd, the Winston Cup Series screams into Dover Downs in the MBNA Platinum 400. The hottest cars, the biggest stars, 7,000 new seats. 3 incredible days, June 1st through 3rd. Get tickets online now at doverdowns.com or call 1-800-441.
To relieve the stress and anxiety of her job, Rhonda volunteers as a clown for fundraisers. And to get around, she's looking for the right car for her. VHIX.com. Want to custom build your new car? Or test drive it online? VHIX.com. Make side-by-side comparisons with similar models. Check out crash test results. Find the right car for you. VHIX.com. Roadmap to the automotive world.
Looking for that hard-to-find auto part? Grand Rapids Auto Parts is the place to go. Whether you need foreign or domestic parts, come in and see our great selection of new, used, and rebuilt auto parts. Grand Rapids Auto Parts specializes in new and used radiators. Ask us about our 3-year limited warranty or stop in and see our selection of air conditioner replacement parts. At Grand Rapids Auto Parts, our knowledgeable staff and excellent customer service will make sure you get the part you need when you need it. Grand Rapids Auto Parts at the corner of Ann and Turner.
Thinking about a new car and worried about your credit?
At Classic Car Company, you can drive away in a high-quality used car for just $99 down and 6 months on the job. If you've got bad credit, or if you're reestablishing your credit, with Classic Car Company, you can drive away with 6 months on the job and a telephone at your residence. And check out our new location on M21 in Lowell. Call Classic Car Company today or get pre-approved at ClassicCarCo.net. Classic Car Company, financing for good people with bad credit.
Have you been tested?
Find out how you score. The Test.
Can you take it?
The new series hosted by Jillian Barbary. All new episodes weeknights at 11.
Only on FX.
Kevin Harvick continues to lead, and we begin to see pit stops. Randy LaJoie has come in at lap 79, and that's a little earlier than we were thinking.
There's no question, though, he will have to make another pit stop, and I guess if you're not close, there's no sense in pushing the envelope.
He was a top 20 car. Larry Foyt also making an appearance on pit road, and now Tim Sauter coming in for his first stop. Let's look at Sauter. His first trip to pit road. His brother Jay spent some time in the garage, but has gotten back out on the racetrack, though he is 52 laps down. 7th place race, Greg Biffle trying to work over Ryan Newman. Over, under, sideways, down.
You know, if your car's pushing just a little bit here, and again, that's the characteristics of Loudon. Remember, when you're following a race car, it's going to even push worse because you lose the front downforce on the front of your race car, which even makes the car turn worse. All these pit stops we should be seeing, they should be 4-tire stops. What that would allow them possibly to do is in the latter part of the race maybe make a 2 right-side tire stop.
And that time Newman just pulled over and let Biffle go. Of course, that puts him into the clutches of Joe Bessie, another of the local northern New England drivers. Bessie from Maine, Scarborough, home of the Beach Ridge Speedway. Right behind him, 48 Kenny Wallace, and then 20 Mike McLaughlin.
Kenny Wallace talked to him and his crew chief this morning, Jared Cannon. They was really pleased with their race car yesterday in happy hour, but talked about the #1 topic, getting that track position.
Bessie underneath Newman. Back from Kenny Wallace at Jeff Purvis, right behind that action. 10th and 11th.
Yeah, unless Ryan Newman in the 02 car, unless those guys feel like they can go to lap 100, they need to get to pit road here shortly. They need to fix that race car. It's not going to get any better. The push is just only going to get worse. He can't keep the car down on the bottom right here. See Joe Bessie in the 6, Kenny Wallace, he's going to get under here coming off turn 2. You can turn the wheel, turn the wheel, turn the wheel, but the only thing that will help that race car turn is just slowing the exit speed of the car up.
Looking under Larry Foyt's lapped car. This is 8th place on back, the black car of Bessie in 8th. Tony Raines, the yellow car we talked to at the top of the show, has had a good string of top 10s, but he currently sits 13th. Jimmy Johnson 14th, right behind him in the 92.
There he is in that 10 car. He's getting about 1 every 3 or 4 laps. He's up to 15th now. And again, these guys, they were on pit road at lap 16, so I feel like they should be at least able to go to about lap 105, maybe even 110. These guys, they do not want to see a caution flag here.
Now Jason Keller has moved past Steve Park. And that's the first spot that Park has given up today, and that's Ted Marsh Chevrolet. So Keller, who is Jeff Green's teammate, but employing a different strategy, is the new 2nd place car. Well, as we get ready for pit stops here in Loudon, a lot of activity along pit road. We'll be back to cover it in a moment. You're watching the CBS Pharmacy 200 presented by Bayer on FX.
It's the hottest weekend in May. The Winston. By invitation only. The best of Winston Cup. in a no-holds-barred dash for cash under the lights where nice guys finish last. The Winston. Next Friday, qualifying and happy hour coverage begins 7 Eastern. Then next Saturday, the Winston, 5:30 Eastern on FX.
What if you were as dull as your car? At Pep Boys, we think cars deserve a little excitement. Dress them up with accessories like grill guards, step bars, and custom wheels. Or clean them up. Now you can save over $90 on a variety of great car care products. Because when it comes to making cars stand out, all you need to know is where to go. Pep Boys.
Assembled modules that go together fast. No tools required. New quick-set gas grills from Charbroil.
A giant leap for mankind.
Charbroil, keepers of the flame.
Kevin Harvick, who has led every lap of this race so far, has chosen to pit at this point for floor tires and fuel. 1 can of fuel laying on the ground, 16.82.
The whole lead pack came in with him. Jason Keller, Steve Park, Andy Santerre, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Mike Skinner, and Elton Sawyer. Now Joe Bessie, Ryan Newman, McLaughlin, Johnson, and Grubb are in. Jeff?
And Ryan Newman brings his car in to be serviced. They go to the right side. Right sides are off. Make an adjustment in the left rear. You can see they're taking bite out of the car. Taking bite out of the car by the gas man right there. Been a little bit tight for Ryan all day long, but they felt like if we could get this adjustment, it'd be pretty good. They're down and away.
Lap 91, Greg Biffle comes in.
And Greg had inherited the lead, so he gets his 5 points to lead the race.
As we cycle through green flag pit stops, there's the Randy Goss-led crew at work. Now they're allowed 2 sets of tires under caution for the entire race, so they'll put 4 on here.
Yeah, because again, these will not count against their allotment because it's under green, so they still have 2 sets of tires. No way they'd ever use those tires. Dick Berggren, how about Greg Biffle?
Oh, he's having a painfully slow pit stop right now, Larry Mack. Long time on that left rear corner of the car. It's going to put him way back. Steve Park also had a painfully low pit stop, and as a result, he is going to be running in the back too.
Lap 93. David Green comes in.
Kenny Wallace, who inherited lead, he's on pit road in the 48 car. Long pit road, 35 miles an hour. This comes on lap 93. Good indication none of these cars can make it without stopping again. 107, 106 laps to go now. Should be a 4-tire stop.
It'll be interesting to see as we close in on the lap 100 mark who has not been on pit road, because a couple of crew chiefs indicated, as Jeff pointed out, they might try and stretch it. But we've had very few caution laps, only 2 cautions thus far.
But guess who's leading this race now at lap 94? Oh, number 10, Jeff Green. And we know by virtue of him being on pit road on lap 16, if he can go to about lap 110, he could do this race on 1 more stop. He needs this thing to go at least that far without a caution. He needs it to go the rest of the way without a caution, with all these guys knowing they have got to make 1 more stop.
And now they're all on fresh tires. And Green's tires now have 80 laps on them.
They've got the entire race, because when he stopped on lap 16, all he did was get a little splash of fuel.
You're right, it was just gas, so they have 96 laps on them. Tony Raines and Joe Bessie battling past Kevin Grubb there. So Jeff Green is the leader. Tim Fedowa is second. Jeff Purvis third. Scott Wimmer fourth. Shane Hall now fifth. Chad Little is up there, along with Hank Parker Jr., California winner. Now those 7 cars have not pitted. Newman and McLaughlin. This would be 17.
Hank Parker Jr. seems like to me the California winner. That was on a fuel mileage.
Turn 2, 66 may be out of gas. Now, Speedway has not stopped. And he's slow down the back straightaway, shaking it back and forth.
He is out of gas. We are being towed. Remember, this is Hank Parker Jr.'s teammate. See him slinging it back and forth. The fuel pickup that picks the fuel up in the fuel cell in that right rear corner. He's trying to get fuel back to it. He's going to make it to pit road, but a lot of time is going to be lost.
Crew waiting on Speedway. Several crew chiefs told us this morning that NASCAR made a very careful inspection of fuel cell size here at Loudon because gas mileage is such an issue.
These fuel cells hold 22 gallons, but the way they mandate that is the measurement of the box, the fuel cell itself, and they have been tightening up those rules. Hank Parker Jr., Tim Speedway's teammate, he hit pit road too. When your teammate runs out, you don't need to be too far behind him.
Lap 98. These green flag stops. Jeff?
You can see right now the 66 car Tim Speedway is in. He is out of fuel right now. They're not making any cash adjustments. They just sprayed some ether in the car. The car is fired and stalled again. Now they're going to try to push him off.
Now that leaves Chad Little on the racetrack. That's another Bill Bumgarner car. And the 2 Bill Davis cars. Or rather, Scott Wimmer is out there along with Jeff Purvis. Wimmer's a Davis car. Jeff Purvis is a Gibbs car. Excuse me. Shane Hall comes in now at lap 99. First time on pit road for Hall today.
Even though these guys may be running to the lap 100 mark, remember in that first 100 laps, we had 11 caution laps, and that can make a difference in your fuel mileage. You can't say now I can run the other 100 laps because that will be all green laps should we not have a caution.
So the cars that have not pitted are this one, Purvis, coming in now, and Scott Wimmer and Chad Little. Jeff?
4,200 RPM is what they're calling to him to bring it down pit road at 45 miles an hour. The crew goes to work on the right side. Don't see any chassis adjustments at this moment. Got a pretty good stop going here. Left side goes up. He was one of the last cars to come in here. He's on lap 101. They're down and away. Really good stop for the M&A Pontiac.
Now, Mike, he ran the furthest of anyone that didn't top off earlier in the race. We knew Jeff Green, he topped off on lap 16, but now we're being told that Scott Wimmer and Chad Little topped off on lap 8. So Jeff Purvis, he's the fuel mileage king right now. The question would be, can he run 99 laps of green flag racing?
Well, we may see if we stay green. So Jeff Green, Greg Biffle, and Kenny Wallace each led a lap as we cycled through green flag pit stops. Green is the current leader. 102 laps complete.
Tuesday. Think white men can't jump? Meet Notch Magic Johnson.
I've heard of you.
John Sally stars in Son of the Beach. Tuesday at 10 on FX.
Smooth and refreshing as a mountain stream. Head for the mountains of Busch beer.
Assembled modules that go together fast. No tools required. New quick-set gas grills from Charbroil.
A giant leap for mankind.
Charbroil, keepers of the flame.
4 identical cars. 4 identical engines. Only one running on new Haviland. our latest triumph in Haviland motor oil technology. And what difference does that make? Not only do you get unsurpassed performance, but tests show that with new Haviland under the hood, you get better gas mileage. Haviland. Add more life to your car.
Buy 12 quarts of Haviland motor oil and get this die-cast collectible for just $5.99 while they last.
NASCAR on FX is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Busch, the proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series.
Welcome back to Loudon, New Hampshire. That's not one of the flags the drivers will see. That's an infield camper. I hope. Jeff Green is our leader. He made a pit stop at lap 16. So that was 92 laps ago. So we expect him shortly on pit road. He has a lead of 20 seconds on Chad Little, who also made a stop at the same time to top off fuel. And here is Green, who will surrender the lead on this green flag pit stop.
All they need is a good solid pit stop. 4 tires. Need to make sure they get that thing full of fuel. No mistakes. Dick Bergman, you're down there waiting on him. 4 tires, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be 4 tires, Larry. The other thing they're going to do is you're going to take a round out of the left rear. This car has had a little bit of a push coming off the corner. It's a common symptom that we have seen all day long today. Harold Holly has told these guys, just get it right. A lot of fuel spilling out. They did not get the nozzle in well, but so far now they got it back in again. 1 can of gas is in around to the left side. Dan Dittberger on the jack, working the left side of this race car now. Holly, the crew chief, a gutsy call. And there he goes. Nice stop.
The second place car of Chad Little also making his stop for 4 tires and fuel.
Well, it's pretty much a given. Jeff Green and Chad Little, we know, can make it the distance from here should we stay green. You know, we talk about wedge out of the left rear. We talked about it on Jeff Green's car. We talked about it on Ryan Newman. We're going to try to show you what wedge out of the left rear really is in a visual. Car comes on the pit road. This is the left rear corner right here. What they do, they back that out counterclockwise. Actually, we're going to show you on the right rear here. We're going to show you taking wedge out. Screw down on the right rear. What that does, that takes weight off the right rear and the left front. It puts weight on the other ones, and that's actually taking wedge out. You're changing the wheel weights of the corner.
So Chad Little comes back on track after being in second place. He's now in 24th position. Jeff?
That's right, Mike. They made a gutsy call and took it as far as they could. Crew chief Eddie Perdue made a track bar adjustment. They put 4 tires on Chad Little, got him full of fuel. They believe they can go the distance, and they did it in 15.2 seconds.
Pretty slick stop. Kevin Harvick, after this cycle of pit stops is completed, has gone back to the lead. But Jason Keller is less than 3 seconds from Harvick. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in third, Mike Skinner and Andy Santerre are the top 5 here at New Hampshire International Speedway. You're watching the NASCAR Busch Series on FX.
This GID music. This GID music. This is GID music. New Rock 97.9 GID.
Seriously, man, what's your real name?
It's Trey Winger.
Trey Winger.
I'm Michael Dopin. The laser hair care therapy is the most exciting treatment in the last 30 years. It works. Sign up now.
Call 977-7888.
He's rich, he's cute. Let's just see how smart he is. Do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
I have a dish.
So you can't watch different channels on different sets at the same time without expensive equipment.
I can't.
And you can't get the latest technology without having to buy new equipment.
I can't.
And you can't keep wasting my time.
I can't? AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Have you been tested?
Find out how you score. The Test.
Can you take it?
The new series hosted by Jillian Barbary. All new episodes weeknights at 11.
Only on FX.
Next weekend, NASCAR's All-Star Weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Winston Cup practice on Fox Sports Net next Friday. Then qualifying and practice on FX beginning at 7 p.m. Next Saturday, the ARCA race. 5:30 on FX, followed by the Winston Open and the Winston All on FX. And next Sunday, we're at Nazareth with the NASCAR Busch Series. Tough break for David Donahue, whose car slowed up way in the high side of turn 2, coasted around the wall, and then found its way down to pit road. If you can have a look at the right rear of that car while they work under the hood, you can see what they painted on it for this week. A bullseye. Said they've been hit so many times. After last week's telecast, they thought they'd put one on there. Nobody's touched it.
Maybe it was a good thing they put it on there, but unfortunately now they've got other problems.
David Donahue lost a cylinder, we're told. And Donahue is going to be done for the day. They're going to push the number 25 Ed Renzi Team Marines car behind the wall.
Look at it, Greg Biffle right there in the 60, Jeff Green in the 10. This is a battle for 12th, but Mike, Jeff Green is on his own agenda right now. He don't need to race anyone. He just needs to make laps, be careful racing people. He knows he can go the distance without stopping. Greg Biffle and everybody else in front of him, they have got to stop one more time.
Well, there are several cars, Larry, that are in the make it or break it category. Scott Wimmer, Shane Hall, Hank Parker Jr. again. Chad Little doesn't have to stop. I think I mentioned Wimmer and Green. Those cars probably might not have to stop.
Yeah, the thing, though, with Chad Little and Scott Wimmer, they are a lap down. Now, they certainly would improve their position a bunch. I don't know that they could win the race, though, by not stopping, because we know Jeff Green in the 10, he has not to come to pit road again.
Chad Little, Hank Parker Jr., and Steve Park going at it. Park is the 6th place car. He makes it past that group.
Randy LaJoie in that 7 car, he's up to the 7th position. Remember, he was one of the first cars that came to pit road back on lap 80. What he did, he got advantage of those fresher tires and was able to improve his position a bunch. But we know he's going to have to be on pit road probably with about 80, you know, lap 180, 185 possibly.
Yeah, he'll be back in. 12th place battle here. Well, it was. Jeff Green going by Greg Biffle for 12th. Elton Sawyer looking in. The 14th place car. .122 laps complete. Harvick has led 103 of them. I think that 104 now. Jeff Green led 17 laps. Biffle and Kenny Wallace each led 1.
Something we never mentioned, Mike, is Jay Sauter. He's back in the race in the 43 car after being involved in that first accident back on lap 3. Now he's 52 laps down, but just out there trying to accumulate points and make laps.
Yeah, he's gained 4 positions since working in that car and putting it back on the racetrack. There it is. Not pretty, but it's getting the job done.
It's out there rolling and running.
That's right. Jeff Purvis and David Green. And in the 34 pit is Jeff Hammond.
That's right, Mike. We keep talking about pit stops and how important they are to the teams. C.C. Welliver decided that they need to bring somebody in to help make their team better. Well, they went out and they got a former Mr. America and Mr. World, David Hawk, to come in and study pit stops for all 3 of their teams. David also works very closely with the folks at GNC, which sponsor Hank Parker Jr.'s car. He is here to try to understand pit stops. He's going to come back to Charlotte, North Carolina, and develop a program to make their teams bigger, faster, and stronger.
Well, that's the thing, the pit crews, they keep going deeper and deeper into this. No longer are you just a tire changer that shows up on race day. You work out, you practice. It's become pretty involved.
Now that not for position, Jeff Green going past the 66 of Tim Fedowa, who has gone a lap down.
And the reason he went a lap down was he ran out of fuel a while ago and was on pit road a long time, spent a long time just getting to pit road.
So Kevin Harvick, his lead now cut down to just 2 seconds. Jason Keller trying to close in. We'll be right back to New Hampshire after this.
Today on FX, it's a National League Interdivision showdown. The Mets take on the Giants. FX Baseball today at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific.
RunawayShoes.com! Yeah! RunawayShoes.com!
For tools to help your business better target audiences, design direct mailings, and effectively get new customers, visit USPS.com.
Never once did your car ask you for flowers. Never once did it ask you if it looks fat. Or did it get mad at you for leaving the seat up? Doesn't it deserve something special in return?
On a juicy flame broiled Whopper at Burger King. And right now, buy the Whopper and we'll throw in some hot, crispy fries and an ice cold drink for just 99 cents more. To make a Whopper value meal you can get serious about. Get a Whopper and feed your need.
Believe it's true. BK for you.
Americans love their high-performance Briggs & Stratton engines. That's why just about every neighborhood in America is a Briggs & Stratton neighborhood. Briggs & Stratton, the power that works for you.
I no longer have to rush home or be at home at a certain time to watch my favorite shows.
With TiVo, it's you tell it what program you want to watch, you press a button, and it's done.
TiVo records things automatically for me by my selecting a season pass.
And it will record them whenever they come on, even if they change times.
With TiVo, you're in control of what you're watching.
It's magic.
Learn more at TiVo.com or visit these retailers.
Welcome back to Loudon. 131 laps complete. Harvick still leads, but his lead is now cut to 1.9 seconds over Jason Keller. Time for today's Pep Boys trivia. What driver has led the most Busch Series laps at Loudon? For the first time this year, I think the answer is not going to be Mark Martin.
Well, Kevin Harvick is working hard here to become the answer to this question. I don't think he's won a race here, but I think it may have been Jeff Green.
Let's see. Jeff Green.
How about that?
Added 17 more today to his total as he goes by Jimmy Johnson in the 92 to take over 11th place.
This car is really working good. He gets in the middle of the corner, turns that thing, mashes that throttle, up off that corner he comes. And the difference shows up down the straightaway. It looks like he's got a lot better motor than these guys, but the reason is he's backing the throttle so early and able to stay in the throttle off the corner, just like this man right here, Kevin Harvick, in that 2 car.
Harvick pulling down on Joe Bessie, the 20th place car, and the last car on the lead lap. 67 laps to go. Fuel mileage, definitely a question. Now, second place kind of tightens up as well. Jason Keller and Bobby Hamilton Jr. And right now, they're holding constant about 1.9 seconds off the lead.
They've been working a lot of lap traffic here. They go underneath Jay Sauter in that 43 car. Almost like the real difference at Loudon is who can catch lap traffic in the right place and who can make the right calls from pit road.
Seems there like the right place to catch him is about a third of the way down the straightaway.
It's a lot better to catch him on the straightaway than down in the middle of the corner, unless they move up for you while you're in the corner.
So 19 cars now on the lead lap. David Green is the last of those. And most of these teams will need one more pit stop. now pulled up on Mike McLaughlin. This is a race now for 10th. Larry, if we get a caution and you make that stop, 2 tires, or do you take the time to get 4?
Oh, I believe I'm going to go for 2 tires. I want track position. We've seen all day long how hard it is to pass. We saw that battle from 2nd to 8th a while ago, how much it took them to pass cars, and I just don't know track position. Give me track position.
Well, let's find out downstairs. Dick Berggren.
Well, Todd Barrier is Kevin Harvick's crew chief. He's about wearing the pavement out here, pacing back and forth. How long can you go before you have to fuel that thing up?
I tell you, my car has been good. We knew we couldn't make this thing on one stop. Even that first stop, like the team did, we're still like 15 laps short for making it on one stop. We need to call it here sometime between now and then.
You're going to go 2 tires or 4?
Just according to when it is.
Okay. Hey, Jeff.
Down here with Steve Addington, crew chief for the 57 car, Jason Keller. Car looks good, man. I know you can't go all the way, so what's your strategy going to be?
I think we can go to 190, but we might go a little bit further than that.
I tell you right now, by the look on your face and that grin, it sounds to me like you might be holding some cards here, buddy.
He said it's a little free right now, but we're running the leader down. I'm going to leave it alone.
There you have it, Mike.
Jeff Hammond, now, if I'm one of these crew chiefs and I don't have to pit until 15 laps to go, say lap 185, I believe I'm going to do me a splash of gas, because all these guys need is about 2 or 3 seconds of fuel. Again, give me that track position, especially at the end of the race.
I agree completely right there, Larry. You've got to get in and get back out there to hold that bottom line, protect it, and stay in front of a lot of these guys. And the best way to do that is get on and off pit road, or don't come to pit road like Steve Addington had that grin on his face a minute ago, like that's what they're thinking about not doing.
Trouble for Tim Fedowa, and you see the right side of that car is all used up.
Yeah,
I did not see him get the wall.
He's been against the wall, probably up off either turn 2 or up off turn 4.
Kevin Harvick's lead is now cut to less than 1 second. Jason Keller closing in with 60 laps to go at Loudon.
Gentlemen, if you keep dogging it, we're going to run all night. Now let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's move, move, move. That's better. That's looking.
What if stopping was as hard for you
Just run it off. Run it off. Come on, show me some hustle.
as it is for your car?
That's okay.
Treat your car right with new brakes from Pep Boys. Get quality Ray-Bestis brakes installed from just $69.99. Because when it comes to brakes,
oh, it's going to be a long season.
All you need to know is where to go. Pep Boys.
Dirt Wheels magazine ranked it #1. Introducing the Polaris Sportsman 500 HO with 20% more power and our exclusive independent rear suspension. Right now, when you buy a new Polaris ATV, you get a 2,000-pound Warn winch kit for just $69. Or choose low 3.9% financing. Call 1-800-POLARIS for your nearest dealer.
A Whopper says, flame-broiled beef without fries and a Coke? Scary. Add golden fries and an ice-cold Coke for just 99 cents whenever you buy a Whopper.
You happy now?
Uh-huh. In the land of burgers, the flame-broiled Whopper is king.
Will she feel the same way if you lose your hair?
Sure. She'll just feel it about somebody else.
Don't worry, I love you. Anyway, you don't have to lose it.
Are you talking about Rogaine?
Rogaine? Maybe. Why not?
Rogaine. Yeah, why not? It's simple, it's safe, and it's clinically proven to help stop hair loss and regrow hair. Does she want you to use Rogaine? Better ask.
Get inside the official gear of NASCAR. Apparel, collectibles, and more. Only at NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
56 laps to go at New Hampshire International Speedway in the CBS Pharmacy 200 presented by Bayer on FX. And they're second, third, and fourth closing it in on race leader Kevin Harvick.
These guys here, they've been coming little by little. See, they're in front at the line. Jason Keller just a little over a half a second back. Mike Skinner in the 4th place, about a 2.25 back.
Yeah, Andy Santerre in a time zone of his own in 5th place. Then Steve Park and Randy LaJoie. One more pit stop will be needed by most of these teams. Tim Fito has been in and out of the pits trying to make repairs, but off the pace and out of contention. And Jeff Green's forward progress has been stopped at Mike McLaughlin, the 10th place car. Jeff Hammond.
That's right, guys. A few moments ago, I'm standing down here in the pit road, and I seen Harold Hawley come running by me in a dead run. I was trying to see where he was going. He ran all the way back up to the 92 car pit, about 7 pits away, crawled up there and told Tony Liberati, hey, get him out of the way. You're holding us up. And he was referring to Jimmy Johnson. You talked about earlier, you can't pass here. And they could tell clearly that he was much faster than Jimmy Johnson, and he wanted to get some clear lane to get by him, or else. And he was making that perfectly clear. One other thing, guys, it's getting a whole lot cooler down here on pit road, so the racetrack's going to start changing one more time. So guys that are tighter may be getting tighter yet.
Yeah, Jeff, it's definitely cooling down. We noted when we started the racetrack, temperature was 113 degrees. It's down to 104 degrees, almost a 10-degree swing. That can definitely tighten your race car up and make it turn worse.
It's been quite a mix of sun and clouds, and now from partly it's gone to mostly cloudy. There's no sunlight on the racetrack, no direct sunlight on the racetrack right now. Jeff Purvis is the 18th place car, and Kevin Harvick's trying to put him a lap down.
Jeff Purvis is another car that was in question, because remember, he was on pit road at lap 100, so we're not sure if he can go the distance, because that was 100 laps with 11 caution laps. Makes a big difference. Meanwhile, while Kevin Harvick's fighting with Jeff Purvis, you see Jason Keller, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Mike Skinner right there in his rearview mirror.
And it's getting closer. You measure that in car lengths now. You don't need a stopwatch.
We can do it with a visual. You can see it all in one screen.
Harvick looks in his mirror, knows he's got to go. He's trying to make the move on Purvis to the inside and sails it off into turn 3. Under Purvis, who leaves the door open for Keller.
Once you get kicked up to the high side, it's like a freight train. All 4 of these cars now are going to go by Jeff Purvis, put him a lap down. We now have 17 cars on the lead lap with 50 laps to go.
And that's a courtesy move by Purvis, that he didn't just try to drop right in behind Harvick and hold up those other cars that are racing for the lead.
Starting to move up just a little bit up the racetrack, just a little bit. Bobby Hamilton Jr. moved up. Mike Skinner in that 21 car, he's going to take the 3rd place position down the front stretch here. If you move up a little bit, you just give them a little bit of the bottom of that racetrack, they are going to get under you.
Jeff Green made that move on Mike McLaughlin, but he made it coming up out of the corner on McLaughlin instead of going into the corner. That is a position. That's 10th place changing hands there. Laps to go. Kevin Harvick just about 6 car lengths up on Jason Keller here at Loudon, New Hampshire on FX. We'll be right back.
This year, the entire season unfolds on one network, Fox.
Smooth and refreshing as a mountain stream. Head for the mountains of Busch Beer.
1-800-CALL-ATT presents Stranded.
So how are we getting home?
Good question.
Hop on in, guys.
File this under never. Need a ride? Dial down the center. 1-800-CALLATT and save big bucks on every call.
I live with my mom.
Use 1-800-CALLATT for collect calls.
pre-assembled modules that go together fast. No tools required. New quick-set gas grills from Charbroil.
A giant leap for mankind.
Charbroil, keepers of the flame.
You started saving for your kids' college education before they were born. Your wife still thinks of you as her knight in shining armor. And the neighbors know your door is always open. So it comes as no surprise that you choose auto parts that meet the highest standards in the industry. AC Delco. When the right way is the only way. Visit a location that features AC Delco Automotive Parts.
Welcome back to Loudon. 44 laps to go. Shane Hall has just made a pit stop. He was one of the last cars to make his first stop, and he is the first car to make his second pit stop of the day. So of the cars that made late race pit stops, only Jeff Green is left on the lead lap. Now, if we stay green and some of these leaders like Kevin Harvick have to stop, it'll put some of those cars back into play in this race. But if we get a caution, their chance to win is gone.
In particular, Scott Wimmer, Jeff Purvis, and Chad Little.
Correct.
We know Chad Little can make it. But, you know, as I watch Kevin Harvick, we keep referring to Jeff